welcome you to the No Cap Sports Show podcast, where sports and combos collide. Your host, Fredo, Mo Money, Jay Will, Mills Lane, and Kobe, the Cobra Turner. Authentic, unapologetic, no edits, no cap. Let the convo begin.
To the No Cap Sports Show podcast. I am your host, Fredo.
I'm your host, Mo Money.
And I'm your host, Mills Lane.
Hey, how you doing, crew?
I'm all right.
You all right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we like I said, we missing one tonight. Shout out to Cobra. He'll be back next week for another exciting episode. Before we begin, guys, I want to say this. I lost someone that I truly love and respect yesterday. Barbara Finney. She was a huge pillar in Alexandria in terms of the public school system, i.e. Francis C. Hammond and T.C. Williams. Yesterday was very hard for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, finding out that she passed away. Only thing I can say is this, guys. They don't make too many Barbara Finneys. She truly meant a lot to me, big time. She was a huge supporter. She was a mother figure. She stayed on my ass like hot pants on a cheerleader. I was in her office so much, you probably thought that I worked for her. I just want to say, rest in peace, Mama Finney. I love you. Selfishly, we all wish you were here. But at the end of the day, we know that you're going to a better place and that you're going to be with your husband. And at the end of the day, there's nothing for me to argue about that. So with that being said, I want to say rest in peace, Mama Finney. We love you. And I want to say condolences and prayers to Shawnee and Brian and the Finney family and the rest of the family or what have you. And we're here riding for you. And if there's anything that we can do, please do not hesitate.
Thanks, Fredo. I'm not going to follow that up with anything other than thank you.
You're welcome. That was tough. Boy, yeah. So,
it's like we keep doing this a lot. You know, we've been talking about this. It's a lot of death, and you just never know. You know, one of my girlfriends, Jasmine, she always say, you never know the day or the hour. You know, the minute or the hour, or something like that. And that's true.
Yeah.
You know, it's something you can't prepare yourself for, even when you're trying to prepare yourself for it. So, you know, folks don't know that was my family. So,
you know what, Mills? Again, Miss Finney is a throwback, and is something. She is something that can't be replicated or duplicated. They don't make too many Mrs. Finney's. They don't make too many Beverly Lawsons. They don't make too many Doc Hines. That, you know what I'm saying? Those, they don't make those anymore. I'm sure that there are a few, but they're far in between at the end of the day. And yeah, it's I'm not going to say it's a sad day. I'm going to celebrate it as best as I can. Again, selfishly, you know what I'm saying? We want her here, but at the end of the day, you know, God has the last say so, and it's nothing that we can do to argue that. But, you know, let us go ahead and dive deep into we got the Eagles and the Chiefs Super Bowl preview. I want to know from you guys, starting with you, Mills. The Eagles win if what?
The Eagles win if Reddick goes off defensively.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want.
He exposed San Francisco. You know, he's been quietly moving under the radar and making a name for himself. Shout out to Temple University. It just so happened to be one of my schools that I contribute to, one of their programs. But anyway,
Okay.
and if Jalen Hurts, you know, can go flawless.
Yes.
Great points, Mill. Great points.
Great points.
Great points.
What you got, more money?
For the Eagles to win?
Yeah. The Eagles win if what?
Oh, man. If they can make Kansas City one-dimensional. One thing that's been left out about the Philadelphia Eagles is the fact that they have a problem stopping the run. Prior to Josh Johnson getting hurt, we saw Christian McCaffrey get busy. A lot of people forget it was a 7-10 game up into that fumble. They've had trouble stopping the run the whole season. And if they allow Kansas City to run the ball, you can forget about it because Patrick Mahomes is going to carve you up.
Mills, Kansas City wins if what?
Kansas City's winning. If they're firing on all cylinders, same thing, you know, Mahomes to Kelsey, you know, and I just think they have a better scheme. And like I said last week, and you know, again, I don't have a dog in this fight. I just feel like, again, I'll say the experience factor. And on this big of a stage, you know, I think we said maybe 3 of the players for the Eagles were in the Super Bowl a few years ago.
Yeah.
That's a young team. That's a team without this stage experience. Now, you know, it's any man's game on
True
Sunday.
story.
But I still Mahomes, I think, has had 2 weeks to 2.5 weeks to rest that ankle, get that straight, or get it better. And if he can shift and pivot off of that, Chiefs.
Okay. All right, Mo. Kansas City wins if what?
They win the turnover battle, and they can contain Jalen Hurts in the pocket. If they make him a pocket passer by rushing outside in and spying him with either Ladarius Sneed or one of the safeties like Sorensen. I think Sorensen still plays for them. Then they'll have an advantage. But if they allow Jalen Hurts to break contain, freestyle, and allow him to target in on his first read, then they're gonna be in for a long day. It'll be a shootout because I don't believe Philly can totally slow down Kansas City. So, but if they find a way to make Philly one-dimensional, keep Jalen Hurts in the pocket, win the turnover battle, yeah, I believe it could be a blowout.
Okay. So are you concerned with about Philly's running game? Because like I said, Philly isn't one-dimensional because like I said, they can beat you in the air and they can definitely beat you on the ground. They got a hell of a ground attack and they got one of the top offensive line, if not the best offensive line in the league. What to that?
I'm not concerned with Philly's rushing defense because I'm going to make Jalen Hurts throw the ball. I'm not giving him no easy windows. We coming up, we playing. If he gets me, he beats me. But if you look at the games that have been close with them, the Washington game in particular, they were able to stop the run and they made Jalen Hurts beat them. And they were able to supply pressure up the middle with Daron Payne in particular in that game. Well, I think Chris Jones is a little bit better than Daron Payne, just a little bit. And so if he can get loose, because they are subject to getting beat up the middle, they are all pros on the edge. I like their center, but he's not as good as Johnson or Mulatto on the outside. They can be had up the middle. So I'm putting 8 in the box, breaking news, and I'm letting Jalen Hurts beat me. If he can do it, hats off to him.
Yeah, like I said, I think one of the main keys to the game is Philadelphia's coach in terms of Sirianni. As long as he stick to the script in terms of what got him there, they got a hell of a chance. I know you get some coaches that when they first get in the Super Bowl, they get too sophisticated. You know what I'm saying? Overly sophisticated and
don't change nothing.
Exactly. Don't change anything. Whatever got you, what I'm saying? Whatever you've been doing to get you to this point, continue to dial it up. Bottom line. So
hey, I just want to make a point.
Go ahead, bro.
Hey, we got Ebony Lofton watching the show. Shout out to Ebony, right?
She's not working on my bilaterals and my substitutes.
Ebony is the Charles Barkley of picks. Whatever Ebony pick, go the opposite way. She said the Eagles gonna win. Hey, the Chiefs gonna win by 2 touchdowns. So
hey, Ebony, you hear that? So basically, he's saying that we need to pick the opposite of who you pick.
Every time.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So any other keys that you can think of, Mills, in terms of who, in terms of which other teams win the game?
No, I think it's, again, it's pretty simple. Like, they know they're strong, where they're strong, and they know where they're weak. And the game key, what am I trying to say? The key to the game is just playing towards your strengths and, try not to make any turnovers. And I don't know, I feel like this can be a high scoring game.
Yes.
Or it can be a very lopsided game. But one thing I wanted to talk about on this subject, not about who's winning or who's losing, because every year we talk about coaching and Black coaches and where they go. And again, Eric Bieniemy, he keeps getting passed over. And I don't know if it was yesterday or today, they're talking about, we got a offensive coordinator position possibly with the Commanders and with the Ravens. And I'm like, why we keep playing with this man? Like, why can't he have a shot at 18? He is proven, and what's the fear? You know what I'm saying? You know what, I'm going to jump on and say what it is, but what's the fear? Because you got all these coaches out here, being coaches half a year getting fired. You know what I'm saying? So give this man a chance. But, and it's like, Eric Bieniemy, Commanders or Ray, they got a spot for him. I would be like, F your spot. You know what I'm saying? Give me the head spot and let me shine.
Yeah, you know what, Mills? Great point. Me personally, on the outside looking in, for the past 3 or 4 years, with him interviewing with various teams, I've heard that he just doesn't interview or hasn't interviewed well. But I think that's
a bad interview, but I can do the job. Like, let me show you.
And a lot of these the NFL is still a good old boy network in terms of, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And that's why these retreads continue to always reappear. Every now and then they'll probably have 2 or 3 different chances, with a team, when this individual haven't got a chance at all. All you need to do is just give him a chance. But here's another thing. A lot of these teams don't take him too seriously because they don't think he calls the offense. They don't think he runs the offense. They think that it's Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes that actually calls the offensive plays for Kansas City. He's just a figurehead at the end of the day.
Hold on, Fredo. We got to break this news.
What we got, Mo?
Hey, Russ just got traded to the Jazz. D'Angelo Russell is on his way back to the Los Angeles Lakers, and the rest of the details are being worked out right now. Good riddance to that brick lane.
Let Russell live.
Hey, man, I don't know Russell Westbrook from a can of paint. I don't know him. But as a Lakers fan, I've been a Lakers fan since 1991. He is by far the worst player I have seen with a name that come to our team. I'm not joking with y'all. I'm so frustrated.
Shout out to Jay Will.
Man, hey, Mills, well, your boy come down the court. Darvin Hammer run a play. He like, I got it. I got it. You know what he got? The top of the damn backboard. I was so sick of watching that. I don't know.
Really bad misses too.
Yeah, it's like, bro, you
Mo,
glasses?
he tried to tell Jay Will this. He tried to tell
like, aim for the square. Like you gotta take it back to fit like 5.
Hey, y'all remember rec league basketball? Them backboards is like boom.
Yeah.
You talking about the white joint?
The white joint, all white. Ain't no square up there. It's a boom.
I know everybody done played with a cat like Westbrook. You like, man, bro, stop shooting that shit. What are you doing?
Yeah,
stop.
man. He just. Hey, Ebony said you wearing your son's t-shirt, Mo.
That was payback.
That was payback.
Get up, E.
Hey,
Yeah.
him, no, I just shop at the same place Dwight Howard shop at.
There it is. That part right there, Ebony. But nah, man. Yeah, I heard. Wow, that's another Woj bomb, man. So, yeah, you think Utah is going to go ahead and release him or buy him out?
I think so too, but the Lakers just won in this deal. So not only did they get D'Angelo Russell, they got Malik.
They got Vanderbilt
and Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I like Vanderbilt. Like Vanderbilt. That's a great move. But Lakers still need to make 2 or 3 other moves. So
hey,
that's 3 out of 6 that they need to.
I can watch it.
My timeline last night was, LeBron got the record, got the scoring record, and somebody out of nowhere was like, "But they still lost." Like,
yeah. Right. You saw what Anthony Davis did, right? Anthony Davis just didn't even celebrate. Everybody else celebrate. He's just sitting there like, wow.
Yeah, so I ain't gonna sit here and cap with y'all. Like I watched LeBron break the record. I had it on record.
I didn't see it.
So I woke up and I was like, "Hey, I'm not gonna look at my phone." I woke up at like 1 o'clock in the morning. I had to take my son to the bathroom, and I was like, "Oh, let me go downstairs." I went downstairs. I saw him break the record in the third quarter. I'm like, all right, that shit's done. All right, did they win? So I kept fast forward, and the score never changed.
They had. Look, I know Oklahoma City got 2 Jalen Williams or what have you. They couldn't do nothing with either one of them. He couldn't do nothing with neither one of them. And obviously SGA. I mean, he just stuffed the stat sheet at the end of the day. There was no answer for him, man. Only person that showed up was LeBron at the end of the day. And guys, you would have been proud of me. I actually stayed up to watch that. What? Knowing my bedtime is between 10 and 10:30. I did. I had to take a nap in order to watch it. So yeah. So that worked out, man.
I was on the State of the Union.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I did.
Yeah,
I did.
It ended up watching me. I'm no good. I was like, I just got to check it out tomorrow.
No, so
State of the Union was good.
Okay. Well, you want to elaborate on it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
the No Cap Sports Show podcast.
I'm just gonna be honest. It ain't no different than any other State of the Union. It's
everybody riling up their base.
You want to know why it was different? It was different because he actually had receipts. Like he actually had receipts. And I want to shout out to family friend Marguerite Young, who was a guest of Joe Biden's last night when he was talking about diabetes and being able to cut the cost of diabetes medicine. Yeah, right. So shout out to Miss Marguerite Young, who was in the rafters with everybody. But no, I mean it was comical because I know where you go. Joe. He might trip over a word or two, but then he was getting real fired up, Hey,
man, that's me right there. Y'all talking about me.
Nah, not like that, Fred. Not like that, Fred. Not like that.
Not like that. Okay, all right.
But no, Joe tricked the Republicans into agreeing to keeping, Social Security and Medicare off the table. Like they all gave him a standing ovation. Like he slipped it right on in. It was good. But then you had, remember in 2008 when the white senator yelled, "You lied" to President Obama.
Yeah.
It was all of that, Fred. Like everybody.
I heard.
Margaret,
it's like disrespect.
The dumb lady. She blonde. She dressed like Superfly up in the joint.
You said Marjorie Green? Marjorie Green?
Taylor Green. And she yelling, "You like she just want the hot mic, like she want the clicks and the views. Ain't nobody listening to her dumb ass.
No, not at all.
The reason why I said it was no different because you know what he was doing. He got to rally the troops. We about halfway there. You know what I'm saying? And
rally up that base.
He did have some great receipts, and some of the programs that's heading up is going in the right direction. But I know what it is. You know what it is. I got to get y'all behind me because I'm running. Well, I don't know if he's running or if it'll be Kamala that's running. I don't know, but that's what it is. You know, like look at me now.
Okay.
I like the expressions with Kamala in the back.
Oh,
like, they be priceless.
Yes. She. Yeah.
All right. So look at going back to that game last night. I definitely want to send a special shout out to LeBron James and definitely congratulate him on becoming an all-time leader in points, surpassing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Yeah, Jeff, we just broke the news as well. We just found out that Westbrook was traded to the Jazz, man. Yeah, he's traded to the Jazz, bro. So the Jazz will probably eventually buy him out. So yeah, but yeah, that's the NBA trade line is tomorrow. Trading deadline is tomorrow, so it's definitely going to get interesting. But going back to LeBron, man, yeah. Look, Mo, I know we go back and forth in Mills. I know we go back and forth with Kobe and I go back and forth with a lot of people because guys, I'm a diehard KD guy. But as much as I love basketball, I'm not stupid. Last time I checked, okay? I understand greatness when I see it. And the LeBron James is great. Oh, yeah. As I was talking to you, Mo, earlier before we came on the show, this man has exceeded every expectation as possible. Yeah. You're talking about you're talking about being a high school phenom at the age of 16, being labeled King James and going straight into the NBA and not becoming a troublemaker and marrying his high school sweetheart, having 3 beautiful kids, putting his boys on to business and stuff like that, and it's a tight circle, and still sustaining success at a higher level. Right. You can't say nothing about that. If anybody can say something negative about that, then you don't know basketball, or something is wrong with you at the end of the damn day. Yes, right. To me, yeah. And to my opinion, yeah, MJ is the greatest that I've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? Right. But I'm just gonna start going 1A and 1B, man. Because like I said, I can't just put this guy to the side as if he's never done nothing. This guy has this guy has exceeded every expectation, man. And my job right now, bro, and sis, I just want to sit back and just watch him in his final years or what have you and enjoy it. Because before you know it, it'll be gone. And I want to appreciate it more evident, than ever. Same thing with Kobe. That's right. I'm saying. I just want to just sit in the moment and just be in the present and just enjoy greatness. That's it. What you guys got to say about that?
My problem with anybody that compares anybody to Michael Jordan, there are circumstances at hand when Michael Jordan played that will never be duplicated or imitated. Like the free agency and the way that they built the Bulls from top to bottom, it's almost Patriot-like. And for Tom Brady to do what he did, it'll be a long time before somebody can come along and do what the New England Patriots did. Because one, you have to get people to buy into their roles. You have to get individuals to play and sacrifice. And that doesn't happen. I mean, just think about what Tom Brady did with taking a pay cut and what Scottie Pippen did with playing his role. And I don't see too many players today that may be willing to do that.
They're not waiting long enough.
Nah, they not. No, they not. So that's my thing about the MJ LeBron. And then also you got to view LeBron through the Magic Johnson lens. He's a facilitator. He's going to make the right play. He's not a natural scorer. However, he's the all-time leading scorer. So that just tells you what kind of basketball player he was. But I've been saying this since day one, Fred. Don't miss me with them GOAT debates. Because I'm gonna tell you, and I'm looking at this from a third eye view. it is another way for us just to down black brothers. Because when you start pitting them together, you're going to start defaming their character. You're going to have to find a way to start defaming it. Like, you're going to have to say, well, LeBron can't do this. Well, Michael Jordan gambled. Well, this hadn't third happens. And it's like, why we just can't appreciate both of their greatness and understand that they played in different eras? Why we got to assassinate their characters to prove our point? Because that's what you're going to do. So I'm done with that 2 years ago. Each era had a GOAT where you can say that was a 5 to 10 year run where this player was undoubtedly the face of the league, the best player. Sometimes they share that spotlight, you know, it overlaps. Bill Russell, MJ, undisputed in his era. Kobe had a little run, but he shared it with Duncan. And then this era of basketball, miss me with that Steph Curry stuff. It's been LeBron for a long time, you know. Now, last point on this, and I'm gonna let Mills go. If they talk about the current state of the Lakers, right? MJ didn't have as much buy-in back then. I want you to look at the Charlotte Hornets and understand if he did, he wouldn't have 6 championships. Because sometimes when you are a great athlete or a great anything,
hold on, Mo. Elaborate on that.
So it's well known, it's well documented. Everybody had roles within the Bulls organization.
Okay.
They consulted Michael, but they weren't taking it like how they do with KD and LeBron now, as far as the players.
It was a different time, bro. It was a different time.
So what I'm saying is, if Michael had that autonomy, the team would look totally different because he can't pick a team.
We know i.e. the Wizards, right? So right, yeah. Okay. That's what you're referring to.
So like LeBron can't pick a team either because you expect a certain level of excellence and greatness.
Yeah, a lot of these basketball players can't. Right?
No, because you could tell with one eye that Russell Westbrook was not going to fit. However, when you're LeBron James and you're like, I know what I do. He keep himself in shape. He'll come in here and he'll fall in line. He'll do what he need to do. Nah, that's not how that works. So he had to fall back a little bit and allow the Lakers GM to do what they had to do to bring some talent in there. This move they made tonight was the best they could do because they bossed it up with that Russell Westbrook listening to LeBron James.
True story.
So that's all I got to say about that, Mills. I'll let you go.
No, I just think, shout out to LeBron James. He's been strategic his entire career.
All right. And
I think he only got exposed with this group, with Russell Westbrook. Unfortunately, like I said, Anthony Davis just can't, he got a little spurt, but just to stop Fred, just with the injuries, and you don't know when that's going to happen, obviously. But, if you look at him starting with the Cavs, going to Miami, coming back to the Cavs, and then coming out here, which was this big monumental thing, and then it doesn't quite work out with the chemistry of the players. But like you said, Mo, he knows what he has to do. Right. And for the most part, when he is healthy, obviously, he is doing that. He is still putting up the number. Like, he's still doing a fantastic job. But again, it just, he was exposed in this situation because it just wasn't a good fit. And Russell Westbrook, no matter what he wanted to do and tried to do, it never worked. It never materialized for him at the Lakers. Now, where Russell lands and how that plays out, stranger things have happened. He might gel with a team and he might have to step up. But again, back to LeBron, it's just, there aren't too many bad things you can really say about him. He's done his job. He's done his job too, and he's now the new scoring leader and can probably knock off a few other records before he's done. I wonder how. I know the rumor is he's waiting for his son to come through, and I'm hearing the younger son might be better than the older son. So how long is he going to try to how long is his body going to hold up? So that's all I got.
He spends $1 million annually on his body, so he always in supreme shape, and I give him that, man. To be 38 years old and still, is he as dominant? He's not too far from it. I can tell you that he's not too far removed from it. He's still putting up numbers. He can help anybody, whether it's the Lakers or anybody else. But I just got to give it to him, man. There's nothing negative that I can say.
What dominance goes, it's a young man's league to be dominant. You know, like even when Kareem broke it, he wasn't dominant. He was a contributor. He wasn't a bum.
Right.
But when you think about like dominance in today's game, I mean, even KD can't carry a team like Giannis and Luka just because of the age. You know, like a lot of people don't look at how much basketball these guys have played. KD's about to be 35 years old.
Yes.
He's been playing basketball for a very, very long time. He's had successful runs in the finals, the playoffs. It's cumulative. So no, he can't do what Luka can do right now for a stretch run, you know?
You're right. But you know what? I'm glad you made that point, Mo. But I'm gonna argue against it. No, he can't do with what Luka can do. You know what I'm saying? But what he can do is continue to sustain what he's been doing because, like I said, KD can just catch and shoot. Right. Bottom line. You don't teach 7 foot, you know what I'm saying, that got handles and that can pull up as soon as they enter the parking lot. So that won't go away. He doesn't beat you with his athleticism or anything like that. He just beats you with his pure offensive skill. You know what I'm saying? Where Luka is dependent upon, you know what I'm saying, to make the perfect pass, to make the perfect jump shot, to make the perfect three, to make the perfect play in just general. And yeah, you're right. Everything is on his shoulders or what have you. But guess what? That actually segues into the next topic. Good one, Mo. That was a great alley-oop, bro. So look here. We know that Kyrie was traded the other day to the Dallas Mavericks. I want to get you guys' thoughts on that, man, because I got one hell of a thought, and it's basically what Kyrie said in his press conference yesterday. Go ahead, sis. Yeah, I know, right?
I mean,
yeah, go ahead. Let's just let it go.
Let it go, Mills.
Let it go. Just let it go. Don't even.
I know what you. Go ahead. Let it go.
Let it go. Just let it go.
I'm just saying, could it be that he was the problem? Could it be? Now, again, his talent speaks for himself. I had to laugh. I don't enjoy listening to Stephen A. ever. But Stephen A. had a point. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it was basically like they're gonna be good. That like I got they in 4th place. Like, 4th place, like that ain't the move.
That's the goal, huh? 4th place.
4th place. Know, and then talking about his relationship with KD, like yeah, he gonna be. It's just, and those aren't his quotes exactly, but
we know where you're going. It was something similar to that.
Yeah, so again, I don't know these people, but could it be that he just an asshole? Could it be? I'm just saying. And I don't know how much better the Mavs now become. I do feel like the Nets like WTF, like, what's our plan now? You know what I'm saying? And then what does that mean for KD? Does KD stick it out? Does KD say, nah, let me see. I need KD to just come to Washington. Like, I don't know. I just need him to come to Washington. It's home.
Never going to happen.
Finish your career at home. Give us some good nights of watching basketball. But you just kind of left them. Like, now they like, well, we in 4th place.
Right, we in 4th place. But KD, when he got hurt, he left you in 1st place. Yeah, but go ahead, Mo.
No, that's true.
I guess my issue with the with the whole Kyrie situation is first I'm gonna say this. I don't feel sorry for KD. Like, there's some people out there that's like, man, he chose to be with him. Like, just like LeBron had some influence with getting Westbrook there. When it doesn't work out, we're adults. We make decisions. And when they don't work out, you got to live with them. I don't feel bad. Now, with that being said, I believe that the Brooklyn Nets are in a better place today than they were last week. And the reason I say that is the same reason I don't believe Dallas will work out. For one, if you look at the point guard position now, is probably going to be about 6'5", 6'6". That's what Spencer Dinwiddie goes. They add an extra wing defender, and I believe they'll add some length in the front court. Also, the ball will flow now.
I love your analysis, Mo, by the way. I just love, like, you just go.
Me and you both.
Yeah, because like now the ball will flow. Let me tell you what happens with Kyrie Irving. That shit is nice at the Rucker. But when you're in a team setting and he dribbling the hell out of the basketball, sometimes you can get lost because it's just going and it look good and you some oohs and ahs. But as a player on the court, you're like, hey, Kyrie, I just guarded your man. Can I get one shot? Please, brother. Yeah. So I think Brooklyn's offense will look better. The chemistry will flow. I think this will galvanize the team. They will all come together around it. Now flip it on to Dallas. This will be the worst defensive backcourt in the history of the NBA. And I mean what I say. It's going to be bad because neither one of those guys are great on-ball defenders at all. And Kyrie Irving is small for his position. So now you're in the Western Conference when you have to go up against a lot of talented backcourts. So, and then not only backcourts, but now we're talking about front courts. So if you get in a series, let's just say, I don't know, we'll say Phoenix. Who's going to guard Mikal Bridges, Devin Booker? Okay, well, let's talk about the Clippers. Who's going to guard Paul George or Kawhi Leonard?
Dorian Finney.
Oh, no, sorry. You mean the guy that's in Brooklyn?
He was just traded.
And we just talked about the King. So who is going to guard LeBron James? You going to put Luke on him? LeBron going to have 30 that series. So that's the issue when you look at Dallas and you just bringing in talent and it doesn't mesh. And you gave up a lot because Dorian Finney-Smith last year and Jalen Brunson were catalysts that propelled you during that Western Conference final run. So for me, I think it's a bad trade for Dallas. And it's a great trade for Brooklyn. And my last point on this is, and Mills hit it on the head, how many times are people going to continue to date this beautiful individual, male or female, whatever your preference, and understand that they are just beautiful on the outside, but they have nothing to offer on the inside?
They right.
I got to answer that. They will continue to date him as long as the production outweigh the problem. And that's what a lot of these teams. Hey, look here, bro. It was 4 or 5 teams looking to trade for him, man. It's not the problem. If people can talk about the problems that he brings all day long, which is absolutely factual. However, they look at it, the actual production outweigh the problem. I'm not going against you, but I'm telling you how these other GMs and how these other desperate teams think at the end of the day.
My issue, Fred, and I'm gonna let you go because I know you got a lot.
Not too much, but go ahead.
My issue is like look at Kyrie Irving's playoff record prior to LeBron getting to Cleveland. Y'all ain't gotta look it up. I'm gonna let you know.
Bueno.
He didn't have one.
Right.
And if you look at his playoff record, sans LeBron, I believe he has 2 series wins in his whole career outside of LeBron James. And that's to include the time with Kevin Durant, who, in my opinion, is my second favorite player, right? Behind LeBron James. So you played with my first, got you a championship. You played with my second, and you couldn't even get out of the second round.
Yeah.
Like, so how much better is Luka than KD is my point.
No, point well taken, man. My issue with Kyrie, man, it's not so much on the court. I mean, he's a showstopper on the court. This is what you pay to see. You know what I'm saying? And I'll pay I'll pay anything any day of the week to go see that. The problem is he lacks accountability, and we can capitalize that whole entire word, accountability. I was actually looking for him to say yesterday, hey, it just didn't work out with the Brooklyn Nets. I take responsibility for my actions and stuff like that. When I look back on it, the Brooklyn Nets management, both parties should take responsibility at the end of the day. But hey, let me take a look at myself and let me make some changes going forward. You know what I'm saying? As I enter free agency or what have you. So I can become more appealing to various teams. And I didn't get that. You guys didn't hear that. It was just basically just what I did, not what I did right, not what I did wrong. And it goes back to what Mills Lane said, you know, hey, I did everything I was supposed to do. I was accountable. My teammates loved me. You know, they came to me for advice and stuff like that. And hey, I left them in 4th place. And I'm just like, what, bro, what the hell are you, bro? What are you talking about? You left them in 4th place. That right there just stayed with me. I'm like, this is what we doing now. This is what it's all about, bro. You've been here for 3.5 years, man. You know what I'm saying? You played less than 50% of the games.
That's the thing.
50% of the games.
We count up all the times when he wasn't actually on the court.
Right. What did you expect Brooklyn to do? I don't understand. You didn't show up for work. You know, you said you know what I'm saying, you couldn't play because of the insurrection and stuff like that, and you were stressed out about that or what have you, and then they found that you were at a party and, you know, with your sister, and it was just all types of stuff. You got the pandemic, you didn't want to take the shot. I totally respect that. You know what I'm saying? You got the anti-Semitic you know what I'm saying, thing that he posted via Instagram and stuff like that, and you know, there was no accountability from that aspect. And I get what Cobra was saying the other day when we were texting back and forth with each other in terms of you know, he understand where Kyrie was coming from and stuff like that, to a degree. You understand what I'm saying, from you know what I'm saying, in terms of this year or what have you. But what about all the other times? That's the issue that I have at the end of the day. There's no accountability whatsoever. But the problem is this, guys, and this is just not NBA, it's NFL's all types of sports. When the production outweighs the issue, guess what? There's going to be always teams that's interested and that's going to always take a chance. At the end of the day, look at Dallas. Dallas pretty much almost gutted their roster. Yeah, and you do have some pundits that think that they can compete to get to the NBA Finals. I don't see it because I'm not looking at Luka and Kyrie Irving. I'm looking at the rest of your team. So you're right. I'm looking at who's going to guard, who's going to defend at the end of the day. JaVale McGee is going to only get you but so much from a defensive standpoint. I don't understand it.
I don't either, Fred. I can't wait to see it. I want to see it. Not in the
you're gonna see it at 10 o'clock tonight if you're up, because like I said, they play the Clippers at 10 o'clock,
and they're gonna get destroyed. I mean, I got you. Yeah, I mean, my issue with it is too, like, sometimes whenever we bring validity to ignorance, right, in our community, you have to call a spade, because Kyrie's track record put him in a position where he couldn't get a deal that was good or on his side. It wasn't because the Nets say, hey, you're African American or you're Native American or whatever you identify as. It was not racist. It was not sexist. It was his actions. He did this to himself for not being accountable. Your team is looking for you first. People forgot about the insurrection. You pretty much left them high and dry during that situation. You did, COVID shot. I got it. Some of that's on Brooklyn too. The more I think about it, because they could have paid the fine and he could have played some of the games, or he could have, did a split.
And then you look at the state of New York in terms of what they instituted. That was
kind of weird.
That was stupid. Right.
So let's say that's weird.
Right.
The Jewish situation or the anti-Semitic rhetoric that he spit, that was uncalled for. Like, you run that by somebody, like, hey, Fred, what you think about it? Bro, I wouldn't say that. I mean, because you're a millionaire. You telling me you don't have no PR representatives, or just decency for respect. You know, like I would never think to say that to down another race or another ethnicity. Like, what am I going to gain from that? So that's the thing I think everybody has to understand in this Brooklyn Nets Kyrie situation. It wasn't just one incident. It is multiple incidents that led to him being traded. You think they want to trade Kyrie Irving? No. They know there is no way to get comparable compensation at this point. Why you think
James Harden wanted to get out of here? James Harden wanted to get out of here because of one person and one person only.
Yeah.
That's it.
When my grandma used to say, "You getting too big for your britches,"
True story.
And I think that's a little bit of what's happening here.
Yeah. Before we go to our next content, let me ask you this. Because we just talked about KD, and I know that there's stories out there right now in terms of him sitting down with management, trying to figure out what their next step is together. Me personally, the best situation for him is right where he's at right now, because in order for you to, if you want to go to Phoenix. Phoenix have to pretty much gut their team in order to, you know what I'm saying, in terms of from a return standpoint. Any team that you go to, unless you're doing a 3 or 4 team trade or what have you, that can offer picks and young players and stuff like that. But if you're going, like I said, if you're going straight up, I mean, what's the use of me playing with Phoenix if you're giving me their 2 forwards and stuff like that, and Chris Paul, and along with picks and pick swaps on top of that? What's that gonna do for me? I'm just playing, you know what I'm saying? I don't get that at the end of the day. I don't get that.
Fred,
go ahead.
No, I was about to say, he said it best, right? You know who he is. He KD. He shouldn't have to go play with another star. You understand what I'm saying? KD he's a sun or a moon, right? Other players revolve around him, and he should be able to attract whatever he needs to attract to come to Brooklyn. This is your opportunity to build on your legacy.
Facts.
I was actually going to say that just in a different way. You know, this may work out in his favor. You know, you are the leader. You know, you sticking it out. So to the players, the lesser players, you know, that might build some chemistry in them. That's like, okay, we gonna ride for this dude, right?
And you got some assets that you can trade, Mills. I mean, like I said, you had, like I said, you picked up a couple of picks. And then you have Philadelphia's pick in 2027, 2028. You can package that.
I didn't understand the so far out picks. I was like,
man,
29. Like
the reason, it's far out because, like I said, Houston has Brooklyn's picks for the next 3 years. And if you're talking about the Lakers, New Orleans have their picks for the next couple of years as well. So that's why these picks are you know what I'm saying, are far out like that when it comes to these teams.
That and KD, I can guarantee you this. I will bet y'all any amount of money. KD is not playing in 2029. Not at the current
rate. True story.
So
I hope
I still watch him in 2029.
Right. So yeah, you're right.
Of Brooklyn sucking in 2029 are very high. Very, very high. So that's why you want these picks so far down the road. But they got to figure out what they're gonna do with the 10 man though. Or you know, that's exactly what it is right now, man. The 10 man. I don't know what the hell is going on with him, bro. I didn't see this, Mo. I did not see this, Mills. I did not expect this. You talk about the fall from grace. I don't know what. I don't know. He needs to see a psych doctor or what. It's just it is. I mean, you talking about like overnight transformation. It's done. But what I will tell you is this: the future is bright because Cam Thomas is just putting up numbers, man. Cam Thomas is averaging about 45 over the past, almost 45 to 47 over the past 3 games, and he's putting up numbers. They just letting him off the leash. I mean, he is out here barbecuing folks like it ain't nothing. How many years Ben Simmons got on this deal?
He got 3 more years left. I mean, he has 2 more years left after this year.
Man, I'm gonna tell you the truth.
Fred. I will pay him to go. I will pay him to stay home, man.
Amnesty that fool, man. Stretch that thing out.
Hey, man, let me tell you, I don't even know if it's a stretch provision clause anymore, Mo. But you're right. At this point, if he can't give me anything by the end of this year, I'd rather just go ahead and pay him just to stay home, man.
Yeah.
I don't know, because you're not helping me.
No,
you're not helping me. I gotta take you out of the game in the 4th quarter. That's not good. If I gotta take you out the game in the 4th quarter because they're afraid there's going to be a hacker bench strategy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, man.
I hate to laugh because I kind of know what it is. You know, I've been watching these psychology and like listening to some of the psychologists, like especially sports psychologists or psychologists in general, right? You have to understand something with Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is 6'10". He's probably been about 6'5" for a long time, right? So he's been the tallest.
6'9",
6'5", right? He's 6'9".
Ben is 6'9", 6'10".
That's what I'm saying. So he's probably been 6'5" since like 6th grade, right?
Right.
He's the tallest. He's he's a handsome man, right? So everything is given to Ben Simmons, right?
Now I'm listening.
He's the tallest, he's the most handsome kid, he's the most gifted, and he's faced at a crossroads where he's in the NBA with other ballers, where he's not the most talented. And that can be detrimental to your psyche. A lot of people say, "Oh, just suck it up." You don't know what that feels like to be Ben Simmons. And everything up until this point, you haven't really faced much adversity in life. As far as I know, he didn't grow up in the projects. He didn't grow up eating, drinking sugar water, eating mayonnaise sandwiches. You know what I'm saying? So butter on your rice. So these things are foreign to him. Adversity is foreign. So I laugh, but it's not funny because he needs to go see a psychologist, get through this stuff, and then come back as a whole person. Because right now he's dealing with us normal folks have dealt with throughout our life, which is adversity. He just doesn't have the coping skills to deal with.
Wow. Yeah, man. It's just it amazes me when we talk about 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. I mean, you're talking about averaging 17, 18 and 9 rebounds a game and almost 9 to 10 assists a game and 2 or 3 steals. And I mean, he was a stat stuffer. Yeah, he couldn't shoot worth a damn and stuff like that, but he definitely helped in other areas, you know what I'm saying, in terms of stuff in the stat sheet, man. It is sad, and it is sad. If the way this is going, this is about to be a 30 for 30. You know what I'm saying? It's about to be an ESPN 30 for 30 clip, man. You talking about fall for grace. Yeah, I didn't expect this, man. I just knew with him being traded to us, the Brooklyn Nets, that he was just going to put up numbers and he was going to have something to prove. And it goes to tell me that, yeah, something is just not clicking in terms of from a mental to physical play. It's not matching. And yeah, he's in his own head right now. And his
I just, is damaged, man. You remember I called you, Fred, like last year this time. I was like, hey, bro, I'm trading Ben Simmons. Oh no, man, I got to see it.
Yeah, said, bro, he's not tradable at this point.
I said, bro, he's not tradable. Anytime a competitor, all right, if you're in your competitive state and you don't want to come back to play basketball at the highest level, like NBA playoff basketball or in playoffs period is the highest pinnacle of competition that you're going to face. Because every game is crucial, especially in the NBA, because it just is. It's win or go home, right? And if you don't want to play in that, then I don't know when you're going to want to play if you're not hurt. If it's just a mental thing, I don't know if you can ever get over that obstacle. So I kind of knew Ben was done then, because once they said it's back, because it was a back thing. Once he was cleared medically and then it became a mental thing, I said, yeah, he'll never be the same.
Yeah. You're right, man. It's definitely unfortunate. Like I said, I hope he bounced back. Do I see it anytime soon? I don't, but I hope he proved me wrong at the end of the darn day, man.
Some Kardashians.
Kardashian, man.
Hey, Miles Austin started dating Kim K. His hamstring was never the same.
We ain't seen or heard nothing about him since.
Hey, Chris Humphries was a borderline all-star.
Hey,
back in Wisconsin.
Man, he probably working at 7-Eleven.
Listen, Safeway. But let me do a hard segue. I want to talk about the NCAA eligibility requirements that just came down and get you all's opinion. NCAA Division I and Division II decided, I think yesterday, to remove the standardized test requirement for all college-bound student athletes beginning in 23 and beyond. So what's still in place is the kids will still need to have a good GPA, and those core classes, those core requirements. So does this help or hurt?
I think it helps.
A lot of people out there, that aren't good test takers are probably thinking, yes, but you still got to have that GPA, that minimum, So does it help or hurt, y'all?
And we're talking about with the SAT and the ACT, correct?
Correct.
So they're doing away with that. They're doing away with the testing overall, or just the actual
Right.
scores?
So the test. So not the test. I mean, the kids will still have to take them for some universities, but for sports requirements for NCAA, they are dropping the test score requirement.
Do they have to take a placement test? And because sometimes the SAT and the ACT, and it kind of lets the administration know like where you're at. They can kind of gauge your aptitude. So, like, how are they gauging the aptitude now? Would be my question.
Off of
the GPA,
off the GPA,
of the overall GPA.
Man, I'll be honest. They need to just take the student off the student athlete then. Because here's the thing, what's going to happen. I'm going to tell y'all just straight up.
Okay.
Every high school is not the same. You got your core curriculum, but those electives, they can get real tricky. I can give you some classes that's going to boost your GPA up. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if you are taking care of the student athlete, I just hope they're responsible in that and allow these young men to be and women to be in a position to obtain a degree at the end of it. And don't kind of just like pacify them along, put them in PE math class, English, and everybody take care of them, and then they can't even obtain a undergraduate or a graduate degree.
The Chapel Hill factor,
right?
Yeah, I don't know. What you think, Fred?
I'm somewhat sensitive to that, man, because I mean everybody's learning curve is different. And like you alluded to earlier, Mills, I mean, some people aren't just good test takers. They may be better overall students and stuff like that, but not good test takers, especially when it comes to the SAT and the ACT. I tell you what, rest in peace, Coach Thompson. I bet he wished this happened back when, when he was coaching in the 80s with Proposition 48 and stuff like that. He would have way more players than he had back then, and he got everybody that he wanted at that time. So, right. Yeah, I mean, wow. I want to know, Mills, and I don't know if it said in the argue, what made him do away with that? And you may have said, I might have missed it.
I don't know. I'm reading their post. And it said in January 23, NCAA Divisions 1 and 2 adopted legislation to remove standardized test scores from initial eligibility requirements. So that's one, initial eligibility requirements. And then it says check with NCAA school you plan to attend regarding whether standardized test scores are necessary for admission or for scholarship requirements. So it's not done away with all across the board, but it might be school specific.
Yeah, because that was going to be my question, because I know a couple guys that I helped get into a couple colleges. Like, that's kind of always been a thing. Like, you may have to take it, but then they would give you a placement test to see where you were at academically, because they still got to place you on a track. Right. You got to pick a degree plan, and those tests kind of help place you on the track. But Fred, you know what it is. Like, we all know what it is, man. You know what it is. They're not looking out for the student. They're looking out for the athlete part of it. That's all it is.
Yeah.
That's
really another thing,
more money, more.
Right.
That's it.
And then not only that, you're absolutely right, man. And then not only that, especially with these NIL deals taking over and stuff like that, you're right. It puts them
need to regulate that in a minute. Like, I can see them chomping. It's
about to be regulated, Mills.
Yeah, it's not.
At some point in the near future, government is going to it's going to be some type of regulations on these NIL deals.
The athlete too. Like, I'm not saying it's regulation. I think is good, but not everybody is. NIL can be available to your third string player, right? But are they making the best decision for them? And companies are tricky too. There's always an okie doke. So I'm hoping that. Whenever they figure this out and then have some type of regulation that they, the athlete actually is smart about the decisions that they are making.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Yeah, man. Well, Mills, look here, man. We had a great show. You can go ahead and get us on out of here, hon.
Yeah, where's Mo? What is happening?
Mo disappeared. Yeah, Mo disappeared on us. Mo froze on us.
He ghosted us. Listen, thank you all for watching tonight. We started on a heavy note, but it has been heavy a lot lately around here. Fredo, I appreciate you for all your words to the family and, just uplifting us and all of the things. So you all know, if you like what you see, click and hit subscribe. Watch us on all of your podcast channels. We will be back next Wednesday after Valentine's Day. So I want the fellas to tell me what they did for their wives and have a good story. Like, I want to know what y'all did for your wives. Start planning now. Order the flowers now, because if you wait till the last minute, it might not make it. So everybody have a great night, and we will see you next week.
Hey, and on that note, we are out of here. We love you, Mama Finney. Rest in peace.
There are 4 fouls on the play. That's why it took so long. Running into the kicker, number 34 in the kick receiving team.